Okay, as with all fractions, algebraic fractions, so ones that have pronumerals in them, must have a common denominator if they are to be added or subtracted. So let's look at our first example here. 2x over 3 subtract x over 2. Before we can subtract these, we need to get the lowest common denominator. We need to think of what number do both 2 and 3 go into. The answer to that is 6. So we put both of these over 6. We say, how do we get from 3 to 6? The answer is 3 times 2 is 6. So we've times the bottom by 2, so we times the top by 2. Then, how do we get from 2 to 6? We times 2 by 3, so we times the top here by 3. Then, we've got 2 lots of 2x, which is 4x over 6, and 3 lots of x, which is 3x over 6. Our denominators are now the same, so we're free to go and subtract these things. 4x minus 3x is 1x over 6. Okay, let's look at example B. We need to think of the lowest common denominator. So what number do both 6 and 4 go into? The answer is 12. How do we get from 6 to 12? We times 6 by 2, so we've times the bottom by 2. So we times everything on the top by 2, hence putting it in the brackets because we're timing everything on the top by 2. How do we get from 4 to 12? We've times the bottom by 3, so we must times everything in the top by 3. Let's expand these brackets on the top. 2x plus 2, because we've gone 2 times x and 2 times 2. And then we add over here 3 times x, which is 3x, 3 times 4, which is 12. We now have a common denominator, so we are free to go and add these together. We say 2x plus 3x, because they're like terms, they both have x, that's 5x. And 2 plus 12 is 14, and that is all over the common denominator, which is 12. Our third example, we have a pronumeral on the bottom. So ask yourself the same sort of thing. What number do both 3 and 4 go into? They both go into 12, and both of these bottoms have an x. So our common denominator is 12x. How did we get from 3x to 12x? We timesed by 4, so we need to times the top by 4 as well. And how did I get from 4x to 12x? I timesed it by 3, so I times the top by 3 as well. 4 2s are 8 over 12x. Subtract 3 1s are 3 over 12x. Our bottoms or denominators are the same, so we now can say 8 subtract 3 is 5 over 12x. So just remembering that, as with all fractions, algebraic fractions must have a common denominator if they are to be added or subtracted.